On this episode of Skeptical Primate, gay marriage victory and my take on the dissenting justices.
Separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. Therefore, we unanimously hold that the plaintiffs are deprived of the equal protection laws guaranteed by the 14th Amendment.
What is fundamentally important, though, is we ask the court to decide that a state may not pass a law which proscribes marriage between two consenting, competent adults based on race alone.
Good evening. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortions. Thus, the anti-abortion laws of 46 states were rendered unconstitutional.
On June 26, 2015, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled in Obergefell versus Hodges that same-sex marriage is a constitutional right and no state can take that away. So our Supreme Court has now made it official that same-sex marriage is legal. Yay! I think it's been talked about a lot lately. I wanted to focus on the 4 out of 5 justices who dissented and decided not to go along with the opinion of the court and granting a pretty basic right to a group of fellow Americans. First of all, I'm ecstatic and over the moon with this decision.
I'm super! Thanks for asking. All things considered, I couldn't be better. I'm a thing.
As I am, when any group is given a right that they've been denied. It's a little disappointing, though, to know that countries like South Africa, Norway, Sweden, Portugal, Ireland, Argentina, Denmark, Uruguay, New Zealand, France, Brazil, the UK, the Netherlands, Ireland, and more were ahead of us on this. I would have hoped that we would not be coming in in a double-digit country, I would have hoped that we would have been one of the first countries, the top 5. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm really ecstatic that, hey, progression is progression, and it's never too late to give people friggin' rights. It's better than allowing the states to decide, when people tend to be pretty slow with passing civil rights on their own. So I would like to just make a couple points from the 4 dissenters of the justices. First off, Chief Justice John Roberts. So here we go. So Chief Justice John Roberts writes, "If you are among the many Americans of whatever sexual orientation who favor expanding same-sex marriage, by all means celebrate today's decision. Celebrate the opportunity for a new expression of commitment to a partner. Celebrate the availability of new benefits." You would think, just stopping there, that he's writing the opinion, or at least favoring the opinion. That's what it sounds like here. But then he says, but do not celebrate the Constitution. It had nothing to do with it. So he is saying this is against the Constitution to grant a demographic of the population a right that another demographic, majority demographic, has. So Section 1 of the 14th Amendment states that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. If you're granting privileges to one group in the population and not to the other, how is that fair? You're withholding privileges from U.S. citizens. And why? Because they count less? Because they're worth less?
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
So this little part in the 14th Amendment, which Chief Justice Roberts is saying, this isn't a constitutional issue. Well, yes it is. We're talking about privileges.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
All right, from Justice Scalia. It is not of special importance to me what the law says about marriage. It almost sounds like he's bored of this, like this case bores him. I don't know, it just sounds so juvenile to say this. And then he says, it is of overwhelming importance, however, who it is that rules me. Today's decree says that my ruler and the ruler of 320 million Americans coast to coast is a majority of the 9 lawyers of the Supreme Court.
Wackos everywhere, plague of madness.
This practice of constitutional revision by an unelected committee of 9, always accompanied by extravagant praise of liberty, robs the people of the most important liberty they asserted in the Declaration of Independence and won in the Revolution of 1776, the freedom to govern themselves. Not putting words in his mouth, but it seems like what he's saying is that because marriage isn't specified in the Constitution, then it has to be left alone to the majority rule in the states. You know, the Constitution doesn't state anything about women having the right to vote, about interracial couples having the right to marry. It doesn't say anything about workers' rights, about children's rights, about reproductive rights, about an employer not discriminating an employee. And then Justice Clarence Thomas says, this big thing about dignity. He says, the majority invokes our Constitution in the name of a liberty, as he puts it, that the framers would not have recognized. What? That the framers would not have recognized? How does he, is he in the head of the framers? Is it all about 18th century philosophy? Is that what we're basing this off of? I mean, they were pretty ambiguous on purpose. And he goes on and on about dignity. Slaves did not lose their dignity any more than they lost their humanity because the government allowed them to be enslaved. Those denied governmental benefits certainly do not lose their dignity because the government denies them those benefits. He says that slaves, that their dignity was innate within themselves. And what kind of bullshit is he trying to convince himself of? Are you serious? You take away someone's right, especially someone's right to their own life. You take away someone's rights, someone's freedoms, their ability to dictate their own life, like was done with slavery, like was done, when women didn't have the right to vote.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
That's taking away dignity. You take away rights and you're inevitably crushing people's dignity. You're causing them to feel lesser than, to feel like the other, to feel like a second-class citizen. So
I don't care if you are gay or straight or a lesbian or overweight.
Justice Alito. All right, he says, most Americans, understandably, will cheer or lament today's decision because of their views on the issue of same-sex marriage. But all Americans, whatever their thinking on this issue, should worry about what the majority's claim of power portends. So what does it portend, Mr. Alito?
If I were gay, you'd want me.
Dallas County alone issued 170 marriage licenses to same-sex couples following the decision on the 26th, including a really sweet story about a gay couple who'd been together for 54 years. I mean, they're pretty committed to each other, I would think. So really, they have to get married after 54 years. What does it portend? That 2 consenting adults can commit to a lifetime together, that 2 consenting adults can become a family after 54 years. Is that enough?
Wait, your biggest stickers? Here's of this.
All right, well, that concludes my video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you if you've made it to the end. I just absolutely adore you. And again, this decision is not only groundbreaking, it's the right thing to do. It's the fair thing to do. Anyways, yay, we got one, we're making progress. we're a little slow. Our country's a little slow on this one, but we're making progress. And if anything, it does make the future look bright. And congratulations on all those who are getting married this summer. So anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Chronically, Model T investigator, talking from the trenches bench, I smell you later. With the cool cats, means that scream fuck the haters. This is QUAD, rhymes take the tater. It's the LAMB in me, sees these beats like CDs in late 93. I speak so breezy in red windy city, and I hit they like techno stop, they make it easy. Sometimes I let this kick speak for me, getting carried away with the temporary. It's the choices we make, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, saving the world. Look, mom, I needo, bandido. Just the right sauce for this beat burrito. Ingredient list includes a 4-leaf clover with a dash of Mary Jane. We can cure